great game tonight. The Sinton Pirates honoring former coach Tom Allen passed away, and so they're going to be wearing those TA stickers all year long. But this was a Beeville Trojans team that beat them last year in week 1. Sinton here, though, a great play there. That pick was hauled in over the shoulder. Pure athleticism there from the Pirates.
That's awesome. That's what you like to see right from the beginning. Of course, the coach is going to be
fired up.
That's
what Coach Troutman likes to see, too. Yeah, exactly. But here, Beeville with the one up because this pass is going to be tipped and pick sixth. The Trojans with a big play on defense to start the year. Their first touchdown. Coach Chris Souza, I'm sure he was loving seeing that. Sitting here trying to get it going back the other way. Derek Garcia with the big gain there. Then we thought this was a touchdown at first, but apparently there was a step out at some point. Can't really tell it from this angle. Maybe back there. Yeah, okay, I did see it. So not a touchdown.
Close. It's close.
But Sinton would eventually punch it in here. Tristan Hansen going to find Rob Thomas here. But the night would belong to Chris Souza's Beeville Trojans. For the second straight year, they beat Sinton, this time on the road. That is a statement win again in and of itself. They felt like they led a district championship get away last year. Beeville did, so who knows? Maybe this can propel them to big things this year.
Yeah, pretty good for Beeville right there on the road. So that was a nice way for them to get that win right there.
Yep.
Now let's move ahead to Hebbronville. This is the Longhorns playing the Orange Grove Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs were hosting this one in the black uniforms there. We picked this one up in the second quarter. 14-7 was the score. Now, Logan Rodriguez with a big time.
Oh, ripped it from him.
Michael Sainz in the corner. That was big time. So, of course, he goes to celebrate with his teammates right here. That's a great start. So 20-7.
That went from an interception touchback to a touchdown in just a matter of a half a second.
Oh, yeah. And Logan Rodriguez wasn't done. He had the Jets on in this one. He ran it himself for a big time gain on the ground right there, and then does it again and again. He just could not be stopped by the lineman for the Hebbronville Longhorns here. Now here's another big time pass through the air. Connects with Michael Sainz again for the touchdown pass. So of course celebrations underway again for Orange Grove, and they went for the 2-point conversion here. So that ran the ball in as well. And then on the next play after the score is up 28-7, so Orange Grove is rolling here on the next play, forcing a fumble. Orange Grove's defense does, so getting it done on both sides of the ball. Big time show for the Bulldogs here. And then Rodriguez throwing another touchdown, this time to Greg Carrillo for the Orange Grove touchdown. So final score you see on the board right there, 53-14.
All right, let's get over to Odom. Karnes City coming to town. The Owls looking for a win on the home turf, but here the Badgers going to go through the air and go deep, and that's going to be hauled in for a big first down right in front of the camera. So they were threatening, but here now looking deep towards the end zone. But Trey Canales says, not going to do it. He hauls it in. That was a great interception, man. I would say the theme of the night, I'm ready to declare, the defenses have really stepped up tonight. We don't always see, the best defensive highlights, but tonight we have. But look here, he's not down. Somehow the Badgers running back, his knee never touched, and he was just standing there for a second. He's like, you know what? I don't think I was down.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing that he knew the rules, he knew the situation, took advantage of it.
Exactly. First score of the night for Karnes City. They go up 7-6, but the Owls say, you know what? That was a little cheapy. Let's come back and let's get it done. So big first down there, down the sidelines, Owls in business. And then Josh Chivada here going to go deep for Canales. We saw the great catch on defense, doing it here on offense as well. And that kid is fired up.
Man.
Then Aiden Lozano going to punch it in for Odom to grab the lead at 12-7. Let's take a look at the score. This was a back and forth game. Odem Owls, they get it 18-7, 1-0 on the year. They matched their win total from the entire last season tonight.
Wow, and with a low score like that.
Great opening season win.
Big time defense in this game too, so that's pretty good. All right, now let's move on here to the San Antonio St. Anthony Yellow Jackets. They traveled to play St. John Paul II, the Centurions. So here we go. right at the beginning of the game here, Armando Rivera fumbles the ball for St. John Paul. But then on the next punt for San Antonio St. Anthony, because of the weird bounce here, it actually gives St. John Paul fantastic field position so that the quarterback can just run right in, couple yards.
Gotta love those 1-yard drives.
It was something else. It was honestly crazy the way that happened. So obviously St. John Paul happy going up 7-0 to be in good position here. Now here's a decent run right here for San Antonio St. Anthony. They're moving their way up the sideline right here. Good rush by Christian Trevino, and then he'll do it again on the other side, this time pushing way over before he gets pushed out of bounds. But then on the next play, watch this. Talk about a game with really strange plays. It gets ripped right out of his hands, Trevino's hands, and so now John Paul just runs this thing.
Who's got it? There we go.
I had for a second there, I couldn't even tell who had the ball, so it is actually St. John Paul right there.
Play of the week nominee.
Yeah, so there you go. So they obviously score the touchdown there. They go for the 2-point conversion, so that puts them up 15 at that time. But then St. John Paul actually wins this one 35-14, so head coach has to be happy about that.
Yeah, new head coach there, Roland Ramirez. So, you know, we see a lot of new coaches getting their wins tonight. You know, I was saying earlier during the previews that I cannot remember a year where we've had such a high coaching turnover. Just a lot of new, and not even necessarily new faces at all of them, but just, you know, moving different schools.
Yeah, and there's a lot of components to that too. I mean, it's new faces. Sometimes these teams have a lot of new players too. So you have new players, you have new coaches, new schemes, and it seems like everything's kind of coming together, even just in the first week, which is pretty surprising.
Yeah, Coach Ramirez coming over from Odom. Well, all right, let's take a listen to the King Mustangs marching band from last night and take a look at your scores.